All right, I am live. Welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I'm here to do a love reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or anywhere else you might have Taurus in your chart. And even if you don't have any major placements, this could still be for you. But remember that if it does not resonate, don't try and make it fit. I have lots of other readings on my channel. Feel free to check those out. And my readings are generally timeless, so whenever you catch this is the right time for you. I'm going to be asking about someone that you potentially are connected to, in the process of connecting to, I should say. Maybe you've met someone and you're crushing on them. Maybe you've just got into some kind of relationship, but you're not exactly sure where it's heading yet. There's a chance this could be someone you haven't met yet, in which case this could be predictive, but ultimately we're going to ask about them and what they think about you. We're going to kind of dive into their mind and their feelings a little bit. So the first question is, how do they feel about you? I'm going to start with the good tarot, and then I'll clarify with the oracle tarot. How do they feel about you, Taurus? They see you as a harmonious, romantic partner. They see you as a really good fit for them. Someone who's on the same page, who gets them, maybe in a way that other people don't normally. And the Fool, they feel like you make them want to take a chance, to be spontaneous, to be in the moment, and to just go for it. You make them really happy. Yes, you do. What do they think about you? Four of Earth. I got this for Aries as well. You could be on the cusp, or have Aries in your chart, but they see the potential to build a solid foundation with you. There could be some kind of, like, because it's new, there's some uncertainty, not sure where this is heading. But they see that this is how they think about you. They think that you are very masterful, or that you work on things that are important to you, that you enjoy and that you're good at. And that is helping you to build a solid foundation in your own life, in your own right, that you can stand on your own. You're very solid, you're very grounded. And you're probably one of those people that you like to learn. You're a lifelong learner. What do they like about you? What do they like about you, Taurus? Ten of Fire. They really like how good you are at letting things in your life burn away that don't serve you anymore. They see you as someone who doesn't hang on too tightly to the past, that you're very good at tying up loose ends. That even though you might experience anxiety about the unknown, about the future, about potential change, which, I mean, change is really the only thing we can count on. And I think you know this. it doesn't stop you from doing what is required in the moment. You're still preparing. You're acting as if everything's going to work out, that all your guests are going to come, that you're always going to have more to fill in these cups. And this card, my eye is always drawn to these two butterflies. They like that you have this quality about you where you're open and willing to transform when it comes to connecting with someone. This makes me think that maybe you guys have kind of started talking. They know a little something about you. And they're quite impressed. What don't they like about you? 6 of Air. That's interesting. Because this card is typically about moving to calmer waters. It could be that maybe you're a little too quick to move away from challenges and problems before fully resolving them. Like you're just more interested in just getting to the happy place before fully resolving things. Yeah, I think that I'm kind of thinking that you are a little too quick to smooth things over. That there's a chance you do not like to rock the boat, that you would rather just appease whoever you're dealing with so that there's always balance. But I think the reason they don't like it is because maybe they see that sometimes you sacrifice yourself and your wants. That the honorable choice, you're not making honorable choices for yourself. Or, you can think of this in broader terms, where once you're in a relationship with someone, they become kind of, you're a team. But because of this knee-jerk reaction that you have to always try and smooth things out, you might get to this point where you're like sacrificing yourself, which includes the team, for other people's smoothing things over with other people. I've definitely experienced this, being in a relationship where I felt slighted because my partner was prioritizing other people. And I'm like, hey, what about me? Hello? So it may be that there needs to be a little more effort put into making the honorable choices for yourself, keeping you and your person in full view at all times. And this could show up in the relationship as well. That, when you're not fully resolving something, you're trying to always smooth it over, then that's when resentment can build. That's when rifts kind of open up in the relationship. And at first they're very subtle and unseen, but they build over time. And I think your person is like, hey, we gotta deal with stuff head on and find a way to resolve it and not just sweep things under the rug. So what do they like about the connection? The Hermit. I think that in terms of the connection, you two, because you're very similar, you both have this ability to go within and do the do that inner work where you're tapping into your wisdom to figure it's how you figure things out. You're both able to retreat, to take the time you need to figure out, like, in this card here, we have all the keys, and one of these opens this door. And you both are good at doing the work you need to do in order to figure out how to get through the next door, how to get through one phase into the next. And being on the same page like this is really good, because it's like you can each say to the other, hey, I need to take a little time to figure things out. And the other one's like, great, do what you need to do. I fully support that. Whereas sometimes, when opposites attract, you can have the other person being like, why do you have to be alone? Like, does it mean you don't want to be with me? And it's like, no. No. Everything's fine. And so you two don't even need to have that conversation. You just get it. But yeah, because you both understand that that's what brings each of you back into balance, back into harmony within yourselves. And then that's ultimately it bleeds out into the relationship. It's good for the relationship as a whole. This ability to bring yourself back into balance. What do they not like about the connection? 8 of Fire. I mean, this is about building momentum. This is about swift forward movement. It could be that this is moving a little too quickly for them, that you two have come together or about to come together. And because of this, you two being on the same page, there's probably this sense of like, I feel like I know you. And it's just going so fast. And I think that they're a little bit like, okay, let's hang on. Hang on. Let's just put on the brakes for a minute. Let's just savor the process and the anticipation. Let's let the anticipation build a little bit. Let's not dive in too quickly. Status search. Yeah, because I think they understand that you need time to get to know one another. Hey, Darlene Lisa, welcome. You need the time to get to know one another by building the anticipation. It brings you to this new place where you each, the status, how do I say this? Your status in the other person's eyes continues to rise. Sometimes when we dive into a relationship a little too quickly, it's like it takes away all the mystery, and it's just like, oh, okay, now we're suddenly acting like an old married couple and not in a good way. And it's like, as you get to know one another, as you move forward in this relationship, you want to take the time to make sure to constantly check back in and make sure that you are on the same page, that you both are still in balance. They ultimately they do really want victory with you in this connection, but I definitely think they feel like it needs to slow down a little. So, what are their highest hopes? Also got this for Aries, also in the same position. You could also be dealing with an Aries. Their highest hopes are to have this passionate new beginning with you, that it's going to lead somewhere. It's a new adventure. It's going to be fulfilling and exciting and yeah, all the things. We have a couple aces here now. It's interesting. They want the passion, and I think they feel like they want the slow burn. They want the slow burn. That is their hope. They don't want it to go too quickly, because then that takes away the mystery and the buildup. Thank you. Good fortune. Their highest hopes is that, or their highest hope is that this card speaks to someone who can handle things all on their own. I think that they really want to retain their independence, and for you to do the same in this relationship. To have an interdependent relationship rather than codependent, where you each know how to care for yourselves. You can totally handle yourself no matter what you're faced with. And then you're able to come together in the relationship and uplift each other, rather than going into the relationship and being like, I'm needy, I need you to help me. Does that make sense? So yeah, and this makes sense why they don't want this to move too quickly, because they want you to continue to, they want you each to be able to maintain your ability to be independent, to stand on your own 2 feet, rather than falling too easily into one another. What are their deepest fears or fear? Queen of Air. That as much as they want this independence, the two of you to have this independence, that there could be the downside, which is that you both have, your boundaries are a little too strong and that you're not willing to compromise with one another, that somewhere along the way you both are going to be like, nope, this is where I am, and take it or leave it. And this, this card also speaks of someone who's very good at communication. She's a wordsmith. She's able to communicate her inner wisdom. And they could be afraid that there could be too much communication. That too much communication, not enough action, not enough love and nurturing, potentially. Let me see. Unexpected revelation. Oh, it could be that, yeah, they're afraid of, this could be you, where you're kind of the type of person that you say it like you see it. And you're like, this is what I think. This is how I feel, take it or leave it. And maybe they're a little bit more on the sensitive side, where they're like, worried, fearful that you might say things that are going to be very painful and break their heart. Or that you will be so immovable in your own boundaries that if they're not willing to compromise, or you're not willing to compromise, that then you're just like, all right, bye, see ya. A live Q&A soon. That's an interesting idea. Sure, definitely. I hadn't even thought about that. What a good idea. How is this going to play out? How is this whole situation going to play out? 2 of Fire. This came out as the advice card for Aries. How it's going to play out is, I think, you two getting to this place where you're trusting in the unknown. and open to the mystery, that there's a sense, there's an understanding or a knowing about the fact that your higher power has a hand in this situation, has brought you two together. There's definitely some magic, some synchronicity and serendipity in how you two have come together. And because you are so in sync with one another, this understanding is helping you to rest in the knowledge that you're being led where you need to go. Stress and anxiety. I mean, yeah. It's that idea. You two are so potentially so similar that you kind of play off of one another's fears. That there's going, as you get to know one another, as you work on finding your balance, you are going to bump up against stress and anxiety from time to time. I think mostly because of this sense of independence that you both have. It brings up fear and insecurity in the other person. And you know, they could cause you to feel this way as well. Let me get one more. What about that? Reflection. Because of, I think you two, one or both of you, feeling worried about the other person wanting what they had before, whoever they had before, looking back in the past, feeling nostalgic for what they had rather than focusing on the now. I think this really speaks to each of your own insecurities. That maybe you haven't been in a connection with someone this strong, this awesome before, and it's freaking you out a little bit. That stress and anxiety kind of naturally comes up because you're like, this is too good to be true. This can't be. Really? But your advice is to stop the negative self-talk in favor of self-compassion and trusting that you are so awesome and this person really sees that and really gets that, and you feel the same about them. This is both of you, I think, needing to come to this place of being willing to leap, to take that chance, to know that even, I mean, this is same card. Your advice is to understand that when you feel that stress and anxiety, you gotta change your self-talk. You gotta bring yourself back around. And maybe communicate that to one another. Yeah, the star. Hope and inspiration. Continue to feel hopeful that this is going to work out, that you two are on the same page, that it's not too good to be true. Let yourself be inspired by this connection. Let it help you to maintain your balance and that harmony within. Remind yourself that they want this as much as you do. And if you're not sure, it might be worth asking or letting them know, hey, this means a lot to me. How do you feel about it? Are we on the same page? I mean, communication is so important. And that could be scary, a scary thing, because when you communicate effectively, healthily, in a healthy way, um, you're making yourself vulnerable sometimes, especially around this topic. And yet it can really help to boost you and make the connection that much stronger. So yeah, this is good. This is a really beautiful reading. I think that there is a really good chance that this is going to work out between you two better than you could have hoped for. Just don't let your negative thoughts and thinking thoughts, it's redundant. Don't let your negative self-talk hold you back, get in the way. So that is it for the reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, in the near future, I just might do a live Q&A. No idea how to even do something like that, but looks like that's going to happen. So thanks for the suggestion. And yes, thank you so much for liking, sharing. And apparently if you hit the share button but you don't actually share it, that still helps, because it kicks it what's the word? It talks to YouTube's algorithm, and just hitting that button is enough to help me boost the channel. And I just say one free question. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm open. So I'm answering. Okay. So I'm answering people's questions. Yes. Got it. Got it. Yes, I have done that before. And yeah, I will do that again. I've been thinking about it. So great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you on the next video. Mwah. Yes. Yes. And you can leave me donations. I do have PayPal and Cash App. Thank you. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.